G'day all. Today I've got a fragrance that I've been anticipating picking up, Brisa Cubana. I mentioned this in my new fragrances of 2024 video that I recently uploaded like a week ago, and I was just waiting to grab it in person so I didn't have to pay for shipping, and she finally showed up and I grabbed it. I'm gonna do a first impression off initial spray. I'll do a little bit of a wear test and see how we go maybe like an hour or so later. Let's open it up. I love how fun their packaging always is. It's so lighthearted. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Now here we've got their classic glass teardrop shaped bottle. Very beautiful, always love them. Classic Escada bottle. So before I go ahead and spray her, let's talk about notes. So Brisa Cubana is described perfume that reveals aromas of sparkling citrus, including intense notes of lime essence for an unforgettable Caribbean experience. Feminine and so sensual, the freshness of mint oil gives this eau de toilette a soft and aromatic heart note, delicately balanced by a base note of mariposa, the Cuban national flower. Oh, how special. I love that. I'm expecting something very citrusy, fresh, maybe sparkling. If I go to Fragrantica, it lists the notes as mojito and lime with mint and mariposa. I don't know where they're getting the mojito because I'm reading the description. I don't see anything about a mojito. I don't know. I'm not seeing the description that includes that, so take that for what you will. I don't always trust Fragrantica when it comes to the notes. They don't always have the accurate notes listed, I found. Anyway, let's spray her. Oh, it's actually still pretty sweet for how citrusy it is. Okay, I can kind of get, I guess I kind of get a mojito in there. There is a sweetness in here. Maybe it's coming from the lime, but it's a little bit off. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's like a weird powdery sweetness. It actually could be the mariposa, like a weird florally powdery sweetness. But that's only if you're smelling it up close. Okay, I'm not loving it actually. The initial spray is very citrus and fresh and does kind of remind me of mojito, but the dry down is like it's kind of plasticky. It's very odd. It's coming across like kind of plasticky powder. It's so weird. I don't know how to explain this, but it's kind of off-putting. I don't know where this is coming from. My guess is the floral notes, because it's really just giving off this really weird synthetic plastic sweetness underneath the citrus, and can't pinpoint exactly what it is. I kind of wish it didn't have that sweetness in there at all. I would have been totally fine with something just very fresh. I mean, wherever they're getting this description of mojito, I mean, obviously there's sugar in a mojito. You do have, you know, a sugar component, a syrup, if you will. So maybe that is what they're trying to convey here. Is that the properties of the Mariposa lily? Okay, now that I'm letting it settle a bit, I'm gonna stop spraying it up close because like that's not really what matters unless someone is coming up to you and smelling your skin. It's more about the scent bubble it creates. I would say this, if you are a fan of Escada's typical sweet fragrances, you might not love this one. There is a sweetness, but it's like a sour plastic sweetness. I don't know how else to describe it. Unfortunately, I probably wouldn't reach for this one just because of how it dries down. And to be honest, I'm giving it time, and I feel like the more it dries down, the more of that element comes through. It could be mariposa, but it's just, for me, it's not enjoyable. Like that citrus fades so quickly, and then I just get this really weird synthetic plastic. I mean, I don't know what happened here, Escada. I mean, I was looking at the notes, I was so excited. I was like, hell yes, mojito. It's actually my favorite drink. This does not smell like a mojito, okay? Maybe on like the very first initial spray, you get mojito. That smells lovely. I spray it first. It smells really good. Nice and limey, nice and minty. But then as it starts to dry, it just, yeah, it's that weird, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it must be the floral element in here. It's just giving very plastic. Listen, I'm not gonna knock. I feel like when we use synthetic to describe scents, and I do this too, it's usually in a negative way. I feel like I shouldn't be using the term synthetic when negatively describing an accord, but it just happens to be that way. And if I point it out, it usually means it's synthetic in a bad way, because there obviously are a lot of synthetic fragrances and smells that are great and are lovely. I don't know, It must be just the weird sweetness that they've used in here. It just isn't, it's not hitting right. I almost wish they wouldn't have used it at all. I wish there wasn't any sweetness at all. It's almost like aldehydic. That's almost what it's reminding me of. It's like aldehydic sweetness. Okay, I'm just gonna step away for now. I'm going to let this further dry down. I don't feel like it will change much beyond how it already has. I'll give it a little bit. I'll give it maybe like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, just because it's an EDT, so I feel like I don't need to give it that long. I'll ask my husband what he thinks, just out of curiosity.
1 hour later.
I don't love it. I don't love the dry down. I feel like a scent like this had a lot of potential. I don't know, it could be just the Mariposa that they use. Maybe I'm just not a fan. It comes to my nose, it just comes across like plasticky, maybe a little bit ozonic. Yeah, unfortunately it's not for me. And I even had Mr. Zuri smell it, and he wasn't a fan either. He didn't describe it as plastic. He thought it was a bit sharp for his nose. So yeah, unfortunately, not a love, which was sad because I was really excited for the mojito, the mint and the lime combination. But yeah, it's not giving that at all for me personally. So yeah, if I were to rate this, I would give it, listen, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm gonna say 2 out of 5 mojitos. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you think. Have you smelled Brisa Cabana? Did you pick up something similar to me? Are you still considering picking it up? Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. I really want a mojito now.